Hi, Mark here at Rockin' Walls, and I'm up in Hanover, Ontario. This building I'm standing in front of right now, 2012, was built for an event called the StoneWurx. Dean up here in Canada put on the event, and many different stonemasons from all over the world, a lot master craftsmen, different levels of DSWA certified folks came in from Great Britain, and then a lot of local wallers and then wallers from the US. Really great opportunity here. Back here 2018, just wanted to show you what the project looked like finished. The stable itself is a total of 40 feet long by 20 feet, 21 feet. The walls themselves are about 7, and the walls are all dry laid. The bottom of the walls are about 3 feet wide, and then they taper up at the top. Now the top capstones were set with the bed of mortar because the roof itself was one solid piece that was craned on. That's a living roof, and with sedum on it, which is pretty amazing. And that, once again, this all happened in 2012. It's currently 2018, but just a great example. One of the first new constructions of dry laid stone buildings in North America. The second one that Dean McClellan did was down in a Niagara side of Canada at the Falls at Willowbanks School for Preservation, and that was in 2014, and we'll take a look at that in the next video. So let's go and walk around, just see some of the cool little features with this building itself. So a little bit up close here, but this is a great example of a really well fit arch. These stones was of course put in last, and that's the structural support, but all these stones were basically hand shaped and cut, and arches themselves are just incredible, the strength and power of arches. All dry laid, no mortar. Let's head on inside and see some of the cool little nooks and crannies in here. So you have some great little features. One small little feature here, just when I was up here they had a little wine bottle on here, which was really great, but just a little spot to put little nooks and shelf. Once again, there's two different styles of the arches over the windows. This is just one of the styles. And then these stones that are sticking out are the tie stones. So throughout the building you'll see these tie stones sticking out, and that's basically a through stone. It ties the two walls. There's the inside wall and the outside wall, and these stones are placed typically like every 3 feet or so, and about knee height, 21 inches or so, and then with the taller walls, about that. So it's a structural system that ties the two walls together. Now when you have corners like this, these corners are tying back in, they're tying both ways, so it's kind of like a dovetail. So something like this, where this window is fairly strong along with this arch, but as tie stones, these stones that are sticking out are the tie stones on the structure. You see this throughout. Now in the corners, just to point out here at the bottom, what they did was some of these larger stones here at the bottom were part of the foundation. So they just basically started with larger pieces, and then they just started their foundation with those and then started building on top. Even some of the corners, like the doorways, you'll notice if you look back at that, have really large blocks. So those were placed early on. The structure was actually started a little bit sooner than 2012, and first group came in and started the preparation of the foundation in the lower section, from what I understand. Another great example over here, really neat, just the use of space. This stone is almost like a lentil over top. And another great place to put things in the vertical stones in the back to give a little bit of a visual decorative on the back side here. Over on this side, we have the just a little triangle. Really another neat feature that can be utilized in different types of structures. And then down here a bit, and while we're working past, you can see with the entranceways the larger stones that were set for the doors primarily. So let's head down here. Now in the structure, I mentioned that the top stones, and you can kind of see the top capstones once again were mortared just to get a pretty good level for the most part. Now that could flex or change over time, but since this roof was one solid structure, it was craned over and then pretty much put down. So just allowed the opportunity for this top to be fairly even all the way across. Now the one more little spot in here, solid sides and top, with the large stone bridging everything. Now the fireplace area itself was actually mortared, and all that was put in with mortar, wet, and then everything built around it was all dry laid. Over here we have a little spot for the wood, and then the other style of arch. Now basically the arch is the way the stones are set on the outside, so that's the difference. If you look at the first photo of the structure, you'll see the outside of the one window out here is different than the other window. Solid large stones for the windowsills themselves, and same thing with the just like a corner or end of a wall, you have your dovetail, so pretty much every other stone is kind of coming back in or going the other direction. And then one last little nook over here, just within the stones themselves, just kind of coming in with a solid back. But just a really neat structure. You ever have the chance to come up here and take a look at it, once again, Hanover, Ontario. Neat because it shows different types of styles, and you really look around at the walls. There are coarse walls, there's coarse with random jumpers, just a variety. There were so many different people working on the structure. It was absolutely amazing and incredible, and it happened very quickly, and a lot got done, and it's just a great example of dry laid stone structures. And then the floor too is all that's just larger pieces. Now it looks as though that might have been put down with dry laid, and they might have used a little bit of a mortar to bed it somewhat. But so just once again, just perfect. The chimney was one of the areas on the outside. I worked on the back side of the chimney and over on this corner. But just a great opportunity to work with so many incredibly experienced wallers. So just wanted to share this with you. Thank you so much.